Here at Celebration Park near Melba, researchers and students from CWI and BSU are working to document rare petroglyphs carved into rock by Native Americans hundreds and perhaps thousands of years ago. You know, there's all kinds of cool stuff here at the Idaho Military History Museum. Even this giant spent tank shell, which has got to weigh about 50 pounds. Big question people might ask, how long does it take to walk across America? We all know Boise makes a lot of top 10 lists, but did you know that the city actually keeps a list of all those lists on their website? It's a lot of lists. About 35 protesters were arrested here at the Idaho State House just about an hour ago. It happened after 11 a.m. Former Senator Nicole Lefevre, hand clutched over her mouth, was put under arrest and led from the Senate chamber at the Idaho State House.
You're under arrest. Step forward.
She was among 43 gay rights activists, all silent, all wearing shirts that said "Add the words Idaho," who were taken into custody just before noon on Monday. Lefevre was the last to be arrested.
Ladies and gentlemen of the media, I would ask you to please leave the chambers now.
She remained standing in the doorway of the Senate chamber for more than 20 minutes. That's when lawmakers eventually forced Lefevre to leave. Interviewed before she was arrested, Lefevre said the protest was meant to send a clear message.
It is time that the Senate said that it is wrong for people to hurt and be cruel to gay people in the state of Idaho. They've never said that. It's time for them to say it. Because if they don't say it, they might as well say that it's fine.
Lefevre and her group want Idaho lawmakers to add the words sexual orientation and gender identity to a law banning discrimination against gay and transgender people in housing, employment, and business. Republican leaders say they'd like to wait until gay marriage laws are settled in several states, including Idaho, before they give the Add the Words campaign a hearing. In Boise, Matt Standal, Idaho's News Channel 7. Crash victim Jose Silva is making the kind of progress you have to see to believe. He's able to walk again and is slowly working on strength and agility. Just 4 months ago, Jose was trapped in this barely recognizable SUV. He was among 44 vehicles that crashed on Interstate 84 as a wall of fog descended on the freeway. Jose was struck from behind by a logging truck. Rescuers worked for more than an hour to free him from the twisted wreckage.
Cuatro costillas, mi brazo.
The crash left Jose with broken ribs, a broken arm, kneecap, and ankle. He also broke his nose. These photos from the hospital show Jose immediately after the crash. He says it's a miracle he survived.
He believes in angels, and he knows that angels protected him, and yes, that this is definitely a miracle in itself.
Half man, half amazing, we call him.
Jose and his sister-in-law Esmeralda have been coming to physical therapy here in Meridian for about a month.
Para mí es difícil.
Jose says it's difficult to know whether justice is being done for victims in the crash like him. He believes the driver of the logging truck who hit him was going too fast for the conditions. That driver, a 38-year-old Caldwell man, was cited by Idaho State Police for inattentive driving just last week.
He does blame the driver for this. He feels that the driver should have taken more precautions.
In the meantime, as Jose continues his physical therapy, he's trying to remain positive and thankful to his family and the doctors who aided in his recovery.
He just believes that there was a higher power and definitely angels taking care of him that day.
In Meridian, Matt Standal, Idaho's News Channel 7.
She had a heartbeat, and as I started pushing on it, it started getting a little bit faster.
Brock Dwyer and his girlfriend Bree knew they had precious little time to act.
I just voluntarily jumped in and said, I know CPR.
The couple had just left their Boise home on Easter Sunday. They were among the first to respond to a deadly crash here on Eustick Road and Julian Street.
At first, it looked like just a car wreck at first, and then I noticed a little girl laying on the road.
Police say the teen was riding her bicycle with two siblings when she was struck by the driver of this passenger car. Brock performed CPR on the girl until paramedics arrived. Bree helped calm the hysterical woman who hit the teen.
I think she was more in shock, and she was just saying, I'm going to go to jail. You know, I couldn't see, the sun was in my eyes, I couldn't see.
Witnesses say the teen's body was found about 20 to 25 feet from this crosswalk. They say that the lights in the crosswalk had been activated when she was hit. Police continue to investigate the deadly crash, but turned down our request for comment. They have not identified or said if they'll charge the driver. In the meantime, Brock and Bree have been following the story on social media. They say their hearts go out to the parents of the teen.
It feels like you knew them and you want to do more to help them, because it was very tragic, and I couldn't imagine.
Nobody else was there at the scene, so I just did what I had to do.
In Boise, Matt Standal, Idaho's News Channel 7.
He tried to pants me running up Roby Creek.
They say distance running isn't a team sport, but for Ron Barker and his twin brother Jim, the past 36 years have been spent side by side. As far as anybody can tell, Ron and Jim have run the race to Roby Creek together more than 20 times.
You know, I haven't even counted, but I know it's in the 20s. Well, Roby Creek, I've been at the starting line 36 years, never missed.
That includes the very first race to Roby Creek in 1975. Both were 27 or 28 years old. They don't remember exactly. What they do remember is meeting Boise's Joel Weinberg, who's only missed 3.
That's when we first ran into you. You were wearing a green T-shirt about 30 years ago. It looked like it's seen some wear.
Combined, these super athletes have run over 1,000 miles up Aldape Summit and down the other side. But running races and getting older was never meant to be easy.
For the first time, I had 2 terrible injuries. Got crushed on a bicycle downtown. And
this was a springtime goal to see if I could get through this year's Roby Creek. So
Joel Weinberg broke his pelvis and ribs in a bike accident last year. 2 years ago, Ron Barker was hit by an SUV. His brother Jim runs with collapsed arches and injured feet.
We've left a few wrinkles on the course there at Roby.
And now here's the part where you get some free advice from tough old guys. It's the kind of advice you'd be wise to heed, even if you're not running Roby Creek.
I think the only way to be able to keep on moving is to keep on moving. You just got to keep on moving.
In Boise, Matt Standal, Idaho's News Channel 7.